Hey you, and I am back with a new game for me called Foundation. Now this little game is in very early access. The only estimate, hope, goal that I've heard the developers say is they hope to have it finished perhaps in a year or so. So it is very early access. Now having said that, isn't it pretty? Oh, it's such a lovely game. Having said that, for as early as it is supposed to be, I've been playing the game for about, I don't know, maybe 30 hours. Not just this town. I've tried two or three different towns, and I've tried sort of different ways of finding that balance to make things function and blah, blah, blah. And let's get the game moving, shall we? I have not come to anything near the end of anything yet. I have no idea how far this game will go. All I know is I've gotten more play value out of a game that's a year from being completed than I have a lot of completed games in the last year. Thinking some dinosaur game. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show you around. I think I'm actually going to start a new village and maybe do a series on this game because I am having a ball with it. Now, I've kind of reached the point that this is the number of people I generally reach before things start to get a little go to hell. Yeah, sorry, they just kind of do. Now, my happiness here, just a half an hour ago in this game, was in the 90s. I think it was like 89, 91, in that sort of area. We have people who are lacking food, people who are lacking a place to worship, and I've got a wee little church sitting here. And I've got the very first one, which is obviously going to be a historical sort of place, sitting over here. And it's just not enough. I mean, I've got a lot of people here now. So I'm going to build this big church on the hill. We have our little floating gargoyle of magic awesomeness. Isn't he cute? This is my little magic gargoyle. He's adorbs. But anyway, the church is going up. So that's going to help. I don't know. What is the capacity? Does it show me what the capacity will be? 33. Well, yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. Maybe that as it completes, it'll be more. 33 seems an odd number. But at any rate, we have a warehouse building that is complete. I believe that's not this one. Ooh, where the hell is it? Oh, it's the one over here. Okay. I had hoped that one would get done first, but this is okay. We can work with that. Now, I'm just going to show you around the game a little bit today. It's a city building, in case you missed that, or a village in this case. I guess it could become a city someday. I can't imagine what it'd be like to have this entire map covered. Oh God, it is so pretty. Now I'm building on a hills map. There are 4 others. You have lots of choices in how you want to build. Okay, that's gone back up. Why has that gone back up? Because I now have more wheat. Now, I generally keep my villager list open. I've got it sorted by job, and then the unemployed will be down here, and that's good to know. A workplace list, this is a real quick way to tell me where I need to put people. Actually, you know what? We'll put them all in there for right now. Now, I do have a mine here that I've created, and I haven't used yet. I just wanted to make sure I held the place. I was making more money than I could actually store at the time, so we're gonna get this back up though. My people are starving, and I like to keep this little resource panel up here open. These are just things I like to see all the time, so I can find out what's going on. Now, we don't have a lot of clothing at the moment. We don't have a lot of wheat. We were doing really well. I had so damn many things stockpiled for a while. It was just into insanity. And then, you get complacent. You think, oh, I got this. Oh my God, it's so cool. And, then everybody starves to death, as you do. I'm going to this is going to be all about, I don't know if I want bread. So, because I've got bread being stored over here, we don't have enough to bother anyways. So, what I'm doing here, I've bought this piece of land, and I've got some foresters in here. Not foresters? I don't know. What are these guys called? Woodcutters. I've got woodcutters in here. I'm hoping they're going to clear this area out for... Oh, you know what I've done? I haven't done extraction. That is why they are so slow. Okay, so I've put woodcutters here, but I've not told them that they actually have any right to cut anything because I'm a bright and intelligent person. Now, they haven't been built long. In my defense, they haven't been there for very long. But they are not accomplishing anything. These people are saying, best job ever. I show up, I take a walk in the woods, I go, oh, it's a beautiful day, and then I get to leave because I have no trees that I'm allowed to cut down. Because I am a clever mayor here. Okay, so they're going, I want them to chop this down. Now, I've left some little bits here because I don't want it clear cut. I like having trees around. Now, these guys are going to start clearing this, and then I want to extend here. I will go to territories, and you can see that, you know, you could click over here and buy another, and I could, but I feel I need to use up the land that I have first. Now the idea is I want them to clear a lot of this because I want to wrap some wheat fields around, and later this will be more wheat fields as well. Obvious to me because I can see in my head and you can't. I'm sorry about that. Now residential, you've got to paint that in too so you can tell them where they are allowed to build. Now this area over here is not prime development. They're going, why would I want to live that far away? Ew, there's nothing out there. There's no people. There's no roads. There's no things. They like this area so much because I have a well and a market here. And food and water apparently is high on our list of priorities. Who would have thought? What you can do to make things a little more enticing to people, I will just plant that's all. That's all we have to do. We're going to put that in. And now we check our residential and oh, they're going... Oh, flowers. Flowers are good. I love these people. I think, you know, we could say, oh, we'll put a couple of cypress trees in. Oh, look, they're so nice. And then we go back and we check here. And yeah, apparently, look at this. See, I hadn't tried this before. Cypress trees apparently are not as good as flowers. And maybe that just simply comes down to the fact that, you know, the cypress trees aren't... they haven't grown yet. We just got seedlings in, and you know, seedlings, meh, whatever. That helped. So now they'll start to move back into there. Now nobody likes to be too far away from food and water, and I do have, this is my original little town center here, and I am only guessing at this point that, you know, this is not a far way to get to food and water. This is not a far way, I'm assuming. And I have put in a gathering hut up here, a little market beside it. Where's the market? There's the little market. If I put a well up here, which I think I should do, they seem to consider that, you know, another happy place. It's like, ooh, food and water. Food and water is good. And you know what? I'm just going to put that right there. Once they build that up, these people are all going to be a lot happier about where they live. And then, of course, the church is up here. I'll be wrapping around residential stuff. And at some point, of course, we'll buy the back side of that hill and continue on. 'Tis goodly. What did I do with my little list? Aha, there we go. So I have got 2 more unemployed people. I need another transporter there. The transporters are on these warehouses. Now the thing is with the warehouses, they're not going to transport anything to it until I tell them what they are allowed to put in. We have options. We can just say, you know what, I don't want that here anymore. I want to move this item to somewhere else. So just start refusing that. This empty stock thing hasn't actually worked very well for me yet. So maybe that's just a design thing that is not functioning in the game, or I don't know what I'm doing. It's clearly one of those. Over here, now on this one, I wanted this for something a little bit special. There are things, you know what, I'm just going to put them in. And I need glass. See, I need glass here. There are things that one wants to buy on occasion. And if you buy them, you've got to have a place to put them, or trade cannot happen. And that's the thing. So I can make a trading route up here under trade. And I can look in here and say, you know, I want to buy fish. Now, I'm going to be buying 20 fish all the time, and I will I'll explain why in a minute. Buy until I get that. All I ever want is 20 fish. I don't want more than 20 fish. They're very, very expensive. The only place I can buy them from, they're selling them for 100 gold a pop. Like, oh my freaking God. I don't know what kind of fish that is, but I can't afford it. I would never eat fish. Now here I need some, and I don't remember how much. So let's go look at our church again. Because while this is getting built, I need at least 5 there. And I know I will need more in the future, so I can up that value when I do. But for right now, I just need 5. So I'm going to go to trade. I can buy glass from Northbury, and I do have trade routes opened with these two. So I will go down to here, and I will just buy 5. That's all I need. I just need 5. Buy until it reaches that. So this little warehouse back here for me is just going to be about a place that I am importing stuff from, and I need it to go somewhere where I can find it real easy. And as long as it's in a storehouse, we can buy it and we can sell it. We can't sell it unless it's in a storehouse either. For our warehouse, storehouse, warehouse, same difference. This one, for instance, over here saves bread, but there's no bread in it. Now, if you look here, I do have some bread kicking around. It's in marketplaces, of course, at this point, I guess, or it's still in the bakeries. But until it's in there, I can't sell it. Now, the reason I want the glass was for the church. The reason I want the fish has to do with up here. These little doodobs here, if we look at this stuff, we've got our little influence here for labor. This one is going to be influence for the kingdom and influence for the clergy. Think of that as that's funds, that's coinage, that's money or whatever that you can buy different items with to unlock new buildings. You also need a certain amount of splendor. For this, I need splendor in my town. I need 50 splendor before I can get a new tax collector. I'm not even sure what that is because I haven't gotten there yet. But until I get my town up to 50 splendor, I can't get that. And these little doodobs here are what I would have to buy it with. I would need 3 of those. I've only got 1. Even if I had 50 splendor, I couldn't buy it. Both these conditions have got to be met. And you've got to have enough funds to buy it. So I've got 10 citizens, but I don't have the splendor. I don't have the influence anyway. And it'll be the same thing here. And I have done nothing in this game so far to get this up too far, except that 34. And that 34 comes from, I'll tell you in a second. And then, of course, the clergy is the same thing. There's all these things we can unlock. Now, what will happen in various times, you get a little pop-up that says, you know, let's support our kingdom, our clergy, or our own people, or nobody at all. And they will ask for things. They will want berries, they will want fish, they will want bread, or they will want tools. If I have those things in a warehouse somewhere, then I can send that along. You give it up and you get these points. So far I've been paying attention. Well, I had points in here and then I bought stuff, so that's gone. And I've been working on getting up the kingdom, and I haven't, talk about timing. Oh my God, like I knew what I was doing. I can choose to help the king and give him 5 bread. And that will give me these points to buy things with. I'll get another 10 of them. I could do it with the clergy. Now here's the problem. Here's the thing right now. I have people lacking in food. Now sometimes there's 2 reasons. There can be 2 things for that. A, you just don't have enough to go around. Or B, people don't have access to it. It's too far away. By the time they go to work and they go out to find the stuff, you're just running out of time. So you need to have these little markets where they can actually get to it. And I have found that when that happens, I add a new market that kind of covers more of the neighborhood, and things work out better for me. Now, I could help my people. I don't think my people actually give it. Now, one problem I will have with this particular one right now is that I don't have any bread in here, and the only way I'm going to get it here is to stockpile it, which means it can't go to my markets until 5 of them show up here, and then I'll be able to fulfill this particular quest. My people are not, they don't have a lot of food right now. I'm just going, you know what? I'm a greedy bitch. I'm keeping it all. I'm just not going to do it yet. More of these will come up. I got lots of time. We'll get there. Oh, look. Is this thing done? No, we're still waiting on the glass. Now, I don't have it yet. We have to wait for someone to, for that to be bought, delivered to the town, whatever. That seems to be getting down to the wire here. We've got everything else up so far, so yay. Now, what I could do here, and this may be part of the hunger thing, is we don't have a lot of berries. And I wanted to make this more of a market. So I'm going to put another food stall here in some freaking place. I hate taking out that tree. Howsomever, is that going to be enough room right there? It's kind of on the road, isn't it? I mean, this place is really, you know what? I think the trees just got to find another place to live. I'll plant flowers. It'll be fine. We're going to put this one here. We can do things to make this prettier, but for right now, just start construction because this is low. We have another problem here. I've been working on trying to find the balance of how many of this do you need to supply that, to need to supply that. For a while, this was working out really well. I had 3 sheep farms. I only had the one weaver, which was taking the wool and turning it into cloth. And I had a massive stockpile of cloth because I only had 1 tailor. I put 2 tailors in because we did not have enough clothing. And suddenly we had a problem. Now we still got some wool. Now I am selling some wool. Wow, look at the money. I have been making so much money in this game to date. It was terrible. And now I have nothing. Is bad. Is most badly. Now we're finally getting this cleared out. Oh my God. And then I will just delete these buildings. I think I'll put another one over here. I think this would go out to around here somewhere, but I'm going to want all of this gone. Or most of that gone. Now I do have, this one is being, this is functioning, but I don't have anything in it yet. So the wheat goes into the mills, which goes into the bakery. The bakeries need water, so I put them a well right there. And that's the kind of production chain for that stuff. So I'm getting into this is always where I go and things get kind of wonky for me. So this is not completed yet. So we're having a problem. They like to go to church. They say, you know, we don't have food. We need hope. If our little mayor is not going to give us food, then we'll at least be able to pray for it. Now I have a little industrial area up here. I've got the mines sitting here, and this one is not doing anything yet. It is costing me 5 gold in tax or in upkeep, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't do something stupid and build over it. So I just put it there anyway. We've got coal huts being produced there. The coal then goes to the iron smelter, which takes the ore and the coal and makes the actual ore for us. There is another warehouse to store those bits and pieces, and then it goes off to the blacksmith to make tools. And we were buying them for a long time. I don't have to buy them anymore. We are keeping up. Now I've got a whole pile of unemployed people. A market trader assigned. Thank you muchly. Not that. A couple of bakers, although they're not going to have anything to work with since our flour situation is pathetic. Yeah. So there was a great balance for a while. I'm just in the danger zone. Sorry about that. You got here at the 10th time. Oh my God. Now I have 2 more unemployed people. Now I can leave them unemployed, which I assume is a bad thing. I don't really know how that applies to this game. But I'm just going to make them builders because they can go work on the church or something like that. Now, at some point when we have other places for them to be, I sometimes have a massive pile of builders just to keep everybody working, and then I just take them out later and just take them out later and give them other jobs. Now there are levels. You will notice that there are levels here. I don't know what those do at this point. I don't know if it makes any difference. Again, very early access game. You will notice that you've got names up until, I don't know, like 80, 90, 100 people, and then you start getting, you know, the generic female 455. So food is, what are we doing here? It's at 70. Okay, now that's 69, 70. It's mucking around. Now this one, I now have a new slot. This is considered a market. When I try to take a stall and put it out further, there is a radius that will allow me, it's like you've got to build within that to be considered a single market. But this slot has nothing in it, so I'm going to say bring in some bread. We can do that. Money is starting to build back up again. I had a bad spot there, and it's probably because I had just bought a bunch of stuff. Did the fish come in? Yeah, see, we started, the fish is what gave me a kicker there, because it's 100 a pop. That's a big, big pile of monies. Now, what I can do to get my splendor up here, if I want that 50 to get this, and I see that tax, and that's got to mean more money for me, right? That's got to be a good thing. I also, however, want, where is it? The monastery. You can get herb gardens and apiaries and sell herbs and things like that. Now, the only other country, town, city, whatever this is that I can trade with will buy honey, and these guys will buy herbs, and these guys will buy weapons. But the only way to get those weapons is to get this up to 40 and to have enough to buy it. And that unlocks a weaponsmith. So to do this, you've got to make keeps. This is a process. You've got to make the keep, then you get the hunter's hutch, which are really, they're like 10 gold a pop to keep them functioning. And then we can see, not even done, condition, it's coming soon. So I can buy that, put those out. If I make the keep tall enough, and there's a thing, you can work up to this, but it's a process. It's kind of a long haul, and we will need an awful lot of lumber and an awful lot of planks and stuff like that. So yeah, that's okay. The fact, when you plant these things, you make them taller. And you know what? I will just show you. I don't have to actually make it to be able to show you how to do this. So if we went into here and said, I want to build another church. So there's our sort of, the village things, what they call a monument. These things are special. Now, I don't know if this gives you any sort of the wooden bridge. I've never used one. No clue what that will do for me. But I know that some of these, see, that gives you splendor. Okay, and that gives you one. Now, so if I take this church and put down, you can build it the way you want it. If I build the core, let's see, if I were to put a core right here, see that little up and down thing? I can grab that and pull it up. And you will notice, watch this number over here, okay? Over here, as in to the right-hand side, if you don't see where the mouse is there. If I pull it down, there's less splendor. I go to a teller. Ooh, bigger is better. Now we know the truth, folks. Bigger is totally better. So you can see that putting an extension on the side. If I click that, I can put that up too. Now this does two things. The little wooden extensions give me a better capacity. Let's just clear that. We'll start over and actually watch what's going on. We put the core down. Village capacity is at 20, and it has that much for splendors. Bring this sucker. Whoops, grab you. No. Oh, you're fine there. Grab it. Pop it, get it in the right place. So now we have more splendor. If we put on an extension, and there are a couple of different kinds there, now we're going to have a better capacity. And notice as soon as I click on it, bang, 30. It's assuming I'll put it in. If I don't, I go into something else. That goes back, the village capacity goes back down. So you put in a door. You will notice that this tower gives you 2 splendor. This tower only gives you 1. Now, it costs some more, but that's cool. So if we put in the tower, and again, watch the splendor number go through the roof as you raise this. So it's the same thing with the keep. If we want to build a keep, we can build it the way we choose. What am I looking for here? Actually, I haven't even opened that, have I? No, I haven't even locked this stuff. No, I can, because I have, no splendor is required for this. You can just put up a keep in any old place, right? It doesn't have to be fancy, because sometimes the keep is the first thing that went up and the village built around it. I'm doing things different than historical. So I could unlock these now, and then they would be available to build in here. You know what? I might as well just do it. I've got the stuff. A wooden wall, a stone wall, whatever. Now I've got to get the splendor up. And here, this pops, though, and this is why I hadn't done it. We are allowing you to establish an outpost, okay? You will be able to participate in military campaigns. It's a privilege. So this will actually give me a quest, which will sit up here because I have the quest button, wherever that is, turned on, to build a keep, and that will stay up there until I do. I will get 50 wine for that. Ooh, which I obviously will keep for myself. That's not enough to give 136 people wine, so you may as well just keep it, right? And or I could just say, you know what, I don't really want to do this right now. I have never actually clicked this, but I don't really, do I want to bother? I don't want to do this right now. I just don't want to do this right now. Because then he will be asking for soldiers and blah, blah, blah. So if we, the banner, I haven't built yet. We can do a wooden keep. We could do this. Now, notice the immediate, there's no Watch this. See, we're going to get this up here. And then we grab this and we make it taller. Wow. It's going to cost more, but then, the splendor's starting to kick in. There are different tops. Some are better than others. This is not my favorite. I find one that's prettier, but this one gives more splendor. So if you build this big enough, then you start racking up these points over here to go shopping with. I just don't want to do that right now, because I'd like to concentrate on getting my people fed. I'm thinking, fed people is a good thing. Now, I'm not sure how much further this is. This looks like it'll go out a little bit more. They should be able to cut down a couple more here, but I need to put in another over here somewhere because I want wheat fields wrapped around that section. I'm trying to keep them all close to the bakeries and the storehouses here so that they don't have very far to walk. That seems to be a good idea. And then the clothing situation is a problem. Once we have the church, that's going to help a few people. There we go. So what do we have in here? Close this. Click over here. So we got people wandering up. Now most of them are obviously from this neighborhood, but that's going to extend too. So that it's okay. That's okay. Actually, let's look at what we have our residential painted here. I do have some residential painted around the church. And because we've got the little market sitting here, this is an excellent place for new homes to go up. Now I've got, some forestry going on here that I don't want to interrupt, so I don't want to go too far. But we got to give people new places to live, because currently everybody's got enough room for housing, so that's okay. But we really got to get our food in. And here's the other thing. Money is not what it was a little while ago. And in part that is because I make money from things we sell. And if we don't have things to sell, we're not making money. Because you can make hundreds. These numbers were up, 400, 500, 600 before. They're not anymore. Because I don't have anything to sell. My people are hungry. Oh my God. Geez. I'm going to get the food, and we've got to get clothing out. Well, the food should be coming. You know what? I'm going to do this right now. I am going to build a wheat farm in the middle of this. Except I can't because I don't have enough gold to do that. So, now here's the thing. This fluctuates, in case you haven't noticed, quite a lot. I know these trees are coming down. Where I want this close enough to be... I could put one here. It won't be ideal, but it will start. It will start the process. Or I could put it here, but then the spacing is going to be wonky. I could run windmills up through the center, though, couldn't I? All right, let's do... You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this here. Now those little green arrows, I'm using the control key to swivel this around. Those little green arrows show you the paths they will take to come in and out of that. And that will include what they end up, like how they get there to build it. I'm going to just use the path that is already there. Now one thing I need to do straight away is put a farm field around this so that when it gets built, they can just start farming straight away as soon as I get people to work there. Now this green is going to expand as more trees are cut down. But this will be fine for now. If there's a gap in the middle where the two farms can't reach, I'm just going to run windmills down it. Because having the grain is one thing, but it's got to be milled, right? So lots of people unemployed. Now we'll need 3 for that. And I thought I had another windmill coming up already. I don't see one. Did I not build it? Maybe I didn't have the money at the time. One thing, when you don't have enough money for something, as this just happened, find where you want it to be. Okay? I don't want to get in the way of where this grain is going to grow. And it's got to have enough room to actually function and not block each other. That's probably not too bad right there. There, hold it and click fast. Because this money can go up and down so quick. So my advice is just hold it where you want it. Wait till it pops. put that sucker down. Because see, it's way down below again. So just put it down the second you can. So far, the game will let you go very, very, very far into debt. And then work your way back out again. I don't know if they're planning on keeping it that way. I really hope so. Because it do make some things easier. Now, I'm going to click on this building and say, make this a priority. Okay, now here we go. Now fish. Did I manage to get... I have 20 fish stockpiled. That's why I have 20 fish stockpiled. Because I knew this was coming. Excuse me. So now anytime this comes up... Did I say stockpile it? I did not. But the reason it's staying there, and here's the thing, is because I do not have a slot in any of my markets to sell it. It's sitting in a warehouse, but the people don't have a right to get to it. So I didn't really have to stockpile that. If I don't have a place to sell it, it's not going anywhere. But you know what? I do that anyway because I'm afraid I'm going to do some other stupid thing in the future and mess it up. Now, I can choose to help my people, and we can try to start working on getting that up to get this, which sounds like not a bad idea. I can go ahead and do this, but I've got a long way to go. So what's the point? What's coming on over here? I've got all kinds of splendor with my new church. Holy capola, I can buy everything. I can get this. Ha 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 ha. Actually, wow, unlock monastery. That's 10. Now I could get a copy room is coming soon. I can buy that for 3. But now I need more to be able to buy the apiary, which I'll just want to put in all at the same time. So this time, you know what? I'm going to help the clergy. We're just going to send that off, get a few points. Because we have it stockpiled up here, it's immediate. I can just click on this immediately. This will be red until I've got it stockpiled. I've already got it. It's in, or not stockpiled, but in a warehouse. So I can just click to deliver that. But dang, I can now build everything possible that the clergy have to offer. So I'm quite excited about that. So right now, I want them prioritizing that. I don't know if there's anything else going on for building, but I want the farm coming in first because we can't mill anything if we don't have the wheat to do that. So these guys have just cleared this up. We've really got to get our food going here. So the happiness, lacking in clothing, food. A villager needs a house. Do you not have room up here, or do you just simply don't want to bother? Residential. Well, I'll make it a little bit wider, and just in case. They do have a certain amount of space that they want around them, it seems, because they do upgrade, and they need some room to do that. The little houses come in like little, I think, you get like the one, and then it'll rebuild, and you end up with a couple of buildings, and then it'll rebuild, and you end up with these. And that's as far as I've gotten to date, so I don't know. Anyway, this is Foundation. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is the cutest freaking game. And you've got these beautiful views. And when there's a big keep at the top of the hill over here. Oh my, which reminds me, yeah, okay, once I buy the other one, I can put it up here. And we'll make it tall and imposing and awesome. And, yeah, I don't even know how far this game goes yet. This is about as far as I've gotten along the way. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. Now, these foresters are just cutting down trees. This I've got a forester and a lumber camp, and a forester to replant. So that will end up being just a continuing, self-contained bit of industry there, like is going on over here. They chop, they replant, blah, blah, blah. But I think I'm going to do a series on this. I like it. So we'll see how it goes from beginning to end. This is just a little intro on a few things on, how it works. I can put my 3 farmers in now. I do have more. Good, because I will want them for the mill. Forager. Oh, we need a forager. Somebody's died or left. This unhappiness, this is not brilliant. We're going to be losing people. At any rate, there it is, folks. I'll be back with more. I hope you enjoyed it. Until I see you next time, live your life happy and build it beautiful. Bye-bye.